If you're a mid-level to C-suite leader who wants to own your growth and figure out your next small, brave move to achieve your leadership goals, you are in the right place. Welcome to the Small Brave Moves podcast, a weekly deep dive on how to be braver in leadership and in life for exceptional results. I'm your host, Nicole Bianchi, best-selling author, certified master executive coach, NSA certified speaking professional, chief bravery officer, and tough talk expert. If you're ready to become a better, braver, and more authentic leader, let's dive in. Welcome to the Small Brave Moves podcast. Today, I'm joined by Julie Griffin, a powerhouse in both corporate HR and functional medicine coaching. With over 30 years of experience in team building and leadership development, Julie now helps high-achieving women really reclaim their health, energy, and balance as the founder of the Healthier Executive. As a certified functional medicine health coach and dietary supplement specialist, Julie empowers women to prioritize self-care without sacrificing success. In this episode, we'll dive into a topic I've never covered before: doing a cleanse. We'll talk about small, brave moves for resetting health, building sustainable habits, and making self-care a priority, especially for busy leaders. So welcome, Julie, to the Small Brave Moves podcast. I'm so excited to have you join us and for us to talk about something I've never talked about on a podcast, which is a cleanse. Talk about a small, brave move, right?
Yes. Well, thanks so much for having me. I don't know if it was necessarily a joy to do the cleanse with you, but it was certainly a learning experience. Let's talk about it.
I love it. I love it. So, Julie, give us just a little snippet of the world you live in as the Healthier Executive Coach.
Sure. Yeah. I started the Healthier Executive in December of 23, and really to help women that are high achieving women that do not have time for themselves, that put everybody in front of themselves. They deprioritize self-care, maybe not knowingly or intentionally, but that it just falls to the wayside. And the partnership that I can provide them with health coaching is to focus in on any number of lifestyle behaviors such as sleep, nutrition, exercise, stress management, sense of purpose, community, anything that fills their bucket, so to speak, that needs to be shored up. And part of the whole coaching scenario, as you well know, people may know what to do, but they might need somebody to come alongside with the journey to help them be accountable. And that's the purpose I serve for those women. And I target executive women because I've been there and understand the pressures and demands across both personal and professional life.
And here's what I appreciate most about you. I appreciate a lot of things, but one of the top things is you walk the walk. Like, you do all of the things. You live a life very intentionally of modeling this. And so I remember in early January, I was like, boy, I need to do a full gut reset. I could feel it. I knew something wasn't right. And so I reached out to you just to say, gosh, what do I do? Where do I start? And I remember you saying, like, okay, this cleanse. And then, so here, this is such a perfect coach move. Like, you say, hey, here's how to do the cleanse. And do you want to do it together? Because I need to do this reset. And I'm like, okay, level of accountability here, right? And
Yeah.
I've never done a cleanse before. So you share this information with me. I know we get everything, we get ready, and then we get started. And so I appreciated the check-ins in the words of wisdom and the let's go in the morning, and then the check-ins to see how things went in the evening time as well. So from your perspective, how many times have you done a cleanse before? I'm curious.
Done it right? Uh, Probably 3 or 4 times. I think the important piece is that you have to go by how you feel.
Yeah.
There's not a set schedule, and there's might be an opportunity where you're just not feeling energized, or you feel like you have brain fog, or you have gut issues, or maybe you're just coming off of a big vacation where you overindulged, and you just need to give your liver a little bit of help to detox and and get some of those chemicals and all the other stuff that we put in our bodies out. And it also, helps you to reset going forward as well. So if you feel like you need healthier nutrition and habits, or you want to learn a little bit about what you eat and why you eat, those are all good reasons to start a cleanse.
Yeah. And I think for me, part of it was coming off the holidays and just having a lot of holiday-ish type things, but also traveling. And I know there's ways to eat healthy when I'm traveling, and I do that, but still other people are preparing my food for me, right?
Right,
And so
right,
you still don't have full control over it when you're eating out a lot of different
right.
meals with
That's
my travel
tough.
schedule. And
Hmm.
so when I did it not as a one-time thing, but I did it as a, "Ooh, if I can do this, I wonder if I do this more regularly, a couple times a year to really cleanse and make sure that I'm getting stuff out of my system so that I feel my very, very best."
Yeah, that's exactly those were the cues that you had to say, I need to do something. And a cleanse is a great way to reset and drive forward healthier habits where you can.
Yeah. So, okay, day 1, let's go back to day 1 of the cleanse. How were you feeling
Yeah.
day 1?
Oh, I think day one was probably the hardest for me. And I'm not sure why, other than I think it's just it what's so important is to ease into a cleanse, right? You can't just turn on the light bulb
Mhm.
and start right away if you've had unhealthy eating habits and processed foods and that type of thing. So I tried to ease off as much as possible, right? But probably could have done a little bit better job. And that's probably why day one was a little tough for me. What about you?
Yeah, I felt so it's interesting. I read the like, okay, how to really prepare and what to dial back 2 days leading into it. And I didn't get the full 2 days, but I got 1 day. So it was interesting. I started mine on a Sunday morning and I felt like and I gave myself the entire day to do just me things, which never ever happens. So Saturday, I made sure I was eating, I was doing all the prep and the pre stuff. But
Hmm.
what I loved about Sunday was I really took it easy. I napped if I wanted to nap. I sat in front of the fireplace
That's
and read.
great.
I went to the hot tub. I did some deep meditation. I thought to myself, had I not done that and I would have allowed life to kind of sweep me in and take me along with it, it wouldn't have been such a success. But I really felt like Sunday was a special day. Like I
Oh,
really
that's
loved it. And
wonderful.
what I appreciated about it, the cleanse, was just about the time I was feeling like, "Oh, I need something salty. Here's the celery juice one," right? And it's like, "Oh, this is interesting. Oh, drink 4 has celery," which made it feel like a little saltish. And then or I remember when I started going, "Oh, I kind of want something sweet." It was like, "Oh, drink 5 has a little something sweet in it." I was like, "Oh." So it just was so
Something
interesting
to
that
look
when
forward to. Yeah.
yeah, it knew my body knew like it's like it was in rhythm with my body, what my body needed, which
Oh,
so
that's
I felt
great.
like day 1 was really good for me. I was nervous about day 2 and 3 because I knew Monday and Tuesday. Monday, I typically don't do any meetings. I work from home and I do deep work. But then day 3 was they were like, "Don't schedule, big meetings on day 3 because your body is going
Hmm.
through this
Right.
situation." And I couldn't control it because there's just never a great time to do all this. But I did have 2
Yeah.
really big meetings on day 3, and I was really nervous about it. It created a level of anxiety for me. But I did fine. I did fine. It was great, and it all worked out.
Well, I think the first day and setting the stage in the way that you did really
Mhm,
helped prepare your body for a calm, relaxing experience, right? And
mhm.
so setting the stage in that way probably just bled over into days two and three. And
Oh.
the, you know, putting stress on your body and a cleanse can do that. And you
Mhm.
countering some of those oxidative stress can build. But you had some great methods to counteract what was going on, what fight or flight kind of response that your body might have started to go into. So that's beautiful. That was
Well,
amazing.
that was helpful for you to share that with me to really think about it, and then because Dave was traveling, so I really was able to have Sunday to myself and really just do whatever I wanted to do. So that was helpful. And then some of the prep stuff you shared with me as well, it's like, oh, I thought there's got to be something at the end of this, right? That is just fun and something to look forward to. So I did book a
Yes.
massage. And that
Yes.
Oh my gosh, at the end of day 3, ending that with a steam and a massage,
Mm.
which that was just, like, iconic. I was like, "Oh," like, I was like, "Well, I have to do the full cleanse because the how am I gonna reward myself with the massage at the end, right? Like, I've gotta
Oh,
do this
yes.
to
Yes.
to but I'm really glad I did that. I wouldn't have normally when things get a little busier or I'm not as focused on self-care, I wouldn't have thought to
Mhm.
make that move. So that was important and from a planning perspective to have
Mhm.
something fun to look forward to too.
Yeah, reward is so important when you're going through tough things, as
Mm.
you well know. So having that carrot at the end is very meaningful and motivating. And
Yeah.
the other thing that I found was great. You started a day before I did,
Yeah,
and
that's right.
hearing your experience was so motivating and inspiring to me to
100
push me forward. So the sense of community and doing this together really is powerful and can, push people through the toughest things. And
Yeah,
your insights and kind of things that you did before me, even though I feel like I know what I'm doing, I
yeah.
I hadn't thought of some of those things. And so it was amazing to see how you went through the process so that I could beg and borrow and try some of those strategies myself.
And vice versa. It was really helpful for me just to have somebody to check in with. And I talk a lot in Small Brave Moves about, the importance of having a swim buddy and somebody that's unselfishly fired up for you and helping you through because I knew there was gonna be moments where it's like, "Oh, I don't know if I can do this," or what, am I, what am I gonna do in this moment? And even just the prep, you helping me think through which cleanse, the prep, and then being able to celebrate it at the end with you, even though we're in 2 completely different states at the time. But being able to celebrate that with you was so much fun too, and it was a bigger sense of accomplishment. And it's such a good reminder that we don't have to go through this alone. Because had I gone through it
Absolutely.
alone, I don't know if I would have yielded the same results.
Yeah, I mean, it's powerful to have a partner in whatever change or tough thing
Mhm.
that you're going to go through, even if it's, the first time. And then if you have that experience, then maybe you can do it yourself. But it's still the sense of community is so important in so many things that we do.
I agree. So I know there's a 1-day cleanse, a 3-day cleanse, and usually a 5-day cleanse. What are the big differences between a 1, 3, and 5?
Well, certainly you can go about it based on your experience level. So there's a lot of different factors. So how experienced are you in a cleanse? Have you done intermittent fasting? Have you been eating really clean for a period of time where you could go longer? And then what are your goals? So experience, what do you want to get out of it? And then put the two together to figure out what would be best for you. I always suggest that if somebody is starting something new for the first time, start slow.
Yeah.
And just like your small brave moves, just the small brave move, right? So you don't have to like try to tackle the 5-day. Start with one and see how you feel, see what you learn about your body, about your eating habits. And then maybe you want to do a 3-day next time. Or maybe that's not for you and you want to try something entirely different. But it really depends on, your experience level and what you want to get out of it. And the the 5-day cleanse is the 3-day is tough. The 5-day is sometimes people say, and it's very individual, right?
Sure. Oh, of
Um,
course.
Everyone has different experiences. But after the 3rd day, which can be really tough for people, the 4th and 5th, they sail through. They
Yeah.
sleep like babies. They have extreme focus and clarity in thinking. They
Mhm.
have energy. It's kind of a conflict that you would eat so less and have so much more energy, but it's true. And I think your body um, goes into autophagy, which is
Yeah.
basically the process of your body cleaning house and getting rid of all the dead cells. And you can't go through autophagy unless you give your digestive system a break so that work can happen. And
Yeah.
so once you go through autophagy, you burn fat, you repair your gut, and through all of that process, those mechanisms in your body also are connected to your mind and your spirit. And so some people find that a 5-day cleanse is pretty easy. If you can do a 3, you can definitely do a 5.
Oh my gosh, you just threw out a challenge for me right there. I was like feeling so proud of myself for the 3, and I was like, well, there's no way I could do a 5. And now you're
Oh,
like, day 4 and 5 are easy sailing.
for some
Um,
people, yes.
but when you say it, I mean, honestly, when you come, I remember when you were sharing, like, okay, now, because you went through and said, okay, now, when you get done with day 3, you're going to really want to be mindful the next several days of what you're putting into your system, how your system is responding. And that was super helpful, which honestly was probably close to a day 4 and 5 cleanse, but not really. But
Yeah.
really, I mean, I remember drinking bone broth. I remember
Mhm.
things that were super gentle for my system.
Yes.
Because you can't go from, just drinking juice to eating out
Yes.
and doing other things,
Your
right?
body will rebel in
Yeah.
ways that you don't like.
Yes. Yes. Oh, wow,
Yeah.
Julie, a 5-day cleanse. I hadn't even thought about it. Now that's really and if you could see Julie, I'm looking at her right now and she's like, yeah, why not? Right?
Yeah, I think again, what are your goals and how do you want to move forward? And I don't recommend a monthly cleanse. I don't think that's important. I mean, really, your body has a very sophisticated detoxification system. And you don't need to do a cleanse, because your body has those capabilities already. What a
Right.
cleanse does is just gives you a bit of an advantage and a
Mhm.
little more support for your liver if, if it's been attacked recently and needs a little more recovery and support. So
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
body cleanses anyway, particularly if you eat the right foods and you move and you sweat and you do all the things that you were made to do. So a cleanse once every 6 months, once a year, those
Yeah.
that probably is, in my opinion, reality and what people would get out of it. I think some people do a cleanse for the weight loss aspect. And while there may be some pounds shed, that's not like the best way to lose weight.
Right.
And so be real clear on what your intentions are about the cleanse and what you want to get out of it. And don't do it too often because then your body can go into defense mode and you're not getting the benefits from the cleanse that you would want.
Yeah. That makes a lot of
So
sense.
5-day cleanse, but not next week.
Okay. We'll come back to that. We'll put a pin in that, maybe. Okay, so I know we've been talking deep on cleanse, but let's say as one of our listeners is like, "Gosh, I'd really like to learn more about what Julie does." What's the best way? Share a couple pieces outside of obviously being a great coach on cleanses. How else could we work with you, and what might that look like? And then finish it off with what's the best way to reach out to you?
Yeah, sure. So I coach women who really are looking to make changes in their life and they struggle to do them. And it
Mhm.
may not be because they don't know how. The women that I work with are smart, capable, high achieving women, and they know what to do. They've heard what to do, although there can be conflicting information out there these days. And so it's very personalized. And when I meet with a person during a discovery call to understand what their needs are, it can be any lifestyle behavior. It can be um, loss of sense of purpose, or it could be the need to increase community in their lives. It
Really?
could be, so that's not necessarily hell, but it is because it it affects you mentally. And there's so many connections to your physical and mental and spiritual health. And so I will take that information and we will build a plan together. And it's really their plan, not mine, very
Mhm.
client centric. And I, I am not a coach that says, here's what you need to do, XYZ, go off and do it, and then report back. Not going to get that from me. What I want to do is evoke really their own solutions because it's living within them. And
Mhm.
what I do is help bring it out and bring it to life because that, when it comes from their own self, they're going to be more apt to stick to, carry forward, and succeed in that
Yeah.
goal. So, any of those lifestyle behaviors, I have a 12-week package, a 12 session package that I ask them to complete in a 6-month period, but it can be very flexible in terms of if they want to meet every other week, they want to meet once a week for the first month and then once a month after that, whatever fits their
Mhm.
schedule and their needs, and provide resources along the way, tech support, anything else to help them, make the changes that they want to make and set them up for success so that they can do it on their own on a go for it basis.
I love that. I love the walking alongside them, helping create it, and then, them creating the capabilities inside of themselves. I love that. So what's the best way to reach out to you? How can our listeners connect?
Well, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. For Facebook and Instagram, it's at the Healthier Exec. And my website is www.thehealthierexec.com.
Perfect.
You can book a discovery call. I typically send out information on all three of the social media outlets once a week or so, just to try to spread awareness about different aspects of health that
Mhm.
I've learned along the way. And so you can follow along as well through those means.
Perfect. Okay. Final question. So if somebody is wanting to make a small shift, a small change, what's one small brave move you would have our listeners think about as they head down this journey of investing in their right mental, physical, and spiritual well-being?
Oh, that's a great question. So many people just don't know where to start. And you're exactly right. It doesn't have to be uh, huge. It can be just one small thing. One thing that I like to do is habit stacking. So if somebody wants to increase their movement, for example, just take, a habit like I brush my teeth every morning. So when I brush my teeth, I am going to do 2 push-ups
Yeah.
so that I can feel better.
Yeah.
And you'd be amazed that just that a little bit and you succeed at that and you maintain it, then it's like, well, I'm going to do 5 push-ups. 2 is really easy. I'm going to do 5 next time. So habit stacking is a great way to take a step and making that commitment, that small brave move to say, I'm going to commit that time, even though it only takes 30 seconds to accomplish. That's what I would challenge your viewers to do.
Love it. Julie, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for being an incredible coach for me and helping me navigate my first of likely many 3-day cleanses. So thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much for having me and for doing the cleanse with me. It was a joy.
Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Small Brave Moves podcast. If you're wanting to take this work even deeper, I'm here to help. From engaging in inspirational keynote speeches to transformational coaching and workshops for leaders and teams, page-turning books, online courses, and enlightening leadership development retreats. There are so many ways that we can work together to take your leadership to the next level. For more information, check out the show notes, and let's do this together. One small brave move at a time. See you next week.